Yeah, I shaved my beard. I know I look weird. I'm already having regrets. Don't rub it in. Also look like shit because I've been up for like 20 hours. So what have I been thinking about lately? Virtual reality. Now, not the current form of virtual reality, because the current form is, honestly, I think it's going to be pretty shitty. As of now, it is kind of shitty. I mean, it's cool, but it's pretty novelty if we're being real. Technology is just not there yet to do it effectively, and they're trying to push it onto consoles and shit, and making consoles that do like 4K, and so it's not going to be effective. It's going to run like crap. It's going to make people feel shitty and sick. It's not going to be good. That's my take on it. But what I've been thinking about, and this has been a fleeting thought in and out of my head, sort of, is mental virtual reality. So taking your mind and putting it somewhere else, and I don't mean like maybe not put yourself into stasis or cryogenize yourself, but if you could take your mind and convince it that you are 100% somewhere, and literally that's all that it takes, you know. So a lot of people are all about going out and experiencing things and going and seeing the world and doing these things, but really all that we're doing when we're going out and experiencing these places and these things is we're feeding our mind all these signals and all these senses, and these together are the experience. The experience is only as good as our mind allows it to be and how it perceives it. So if you could fool your mind into believing that, let's say that someone goes to the Cayman Islands and they're like, oh, it's so incredible, you gotta go. You know, you don't have the money for that, and nobody has the money for that. Get out of here, Carol. We're not going to the Cayman Islands. But instead, you have a program, and let's say that this is like another 70 years in the future or something ridiculous, and they have a plug that you just plug into the back of your head, and it just uplinks your mind and takes you to this place. It allows you to experience what Carol experienced. You don't have to go through the process of it, and you can back out whenever you want. But the problem therein lies, if you can back out whenever you want, you're aware of the fact that it's a simulation, which detracts from the whole point. The whole point is that you want to be there, or you want your mind to think that you're there. I guess the only way to fully do that would be to set it on a timer, maybe. So, say that you called off work for a week, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to take a week off and go on vacation, and you just plug your mind into this fucking thing, and you go into the world and hook up an IV drip, you're good to go. Now, if you could find a way to cause virtual items to feed into you, so like you're eating in the virtual reality realm, and it feeds your body, that would be fucking incredible, and that would solve world hunger, because it's electronic, non-existent food that's giving you nourishment. That's a totally different idea. That's not even a concept. I'm really rambly tonight compared to the normal mind dump. Sorry about that. I'm a little tired. But if you take it further, and let's say instead of doing the whole, like, you know, you're temporarily put into the area and then you can leave at your leisure. Let's say instead it's a permanent upload. So let's say your body threw in the towel, and you're paralyzed, and your life is pretty much meaningless to you. I'm not saying that people who are paralyzed are meaningless. I don't need to explain myself. You personally feel that you no longer want to live in this world, or you just don't want to be a part of it. So you decide to take your mind and upload it into a virtual cell. Now, this virtual cell will live inside of a virtual world, and you can experience anything. Your mind could control the code, and it would literally be as simple. It'd be heaven, basically. It would literally be an electronic heaven, a computer-generated heaven. But is that wrong? Are you living falsely? It's literally just your mind's perception of what's going on. Like, even real things happening. Me sitting in front of this camera talking to you guys, you listening to me, you perceiving what I'm saying and making something of it, or probably not because I'm fucking weird. It's all just what your mind is allowing you to make of a situation, and you only get as much out of it as your mind gives you. It's all sensory. So if you can simulate that to a T perfectly, 100%, what makes it wrong? What makes it not you, or not a true, real experience? What qualifies a real experience? Now, there's a million different issues that could arise from doing this sort of thing. I mean, I don't even need to go into the depths of like hacking of what people can do to you in, you know, the event of a power outage. Would you really know if your system just got shut down and all of a sudden the virtual cell you've been uploaded into is no longer existent? There's so many things that could be wrong with the system. You'd have to put your trust in someone, and it's probably a fucked system if we're being real. But the concept of it, the concept is cool, and I like thinking about that sort of thing, and thinking about living a perfect ideal world, even if it's not the real world, you know. And I love video games, man. I play a lot of video games, and they're really cool because they let you experience a different world, and it's almost the same as what I'm talking about. It's just in a really stripped down form. Obviously, you're not uploading yourself into the game, and you're not basically committing suicide in the real world to live in this world instead. You're not sacrificing your body, but it's a cool concept, and I like the thought of it. But I don't know if I'd do it. I don't know if I'd personally sacrifice myself to go into a virtual world. I mean, things suck, like life's shitty, but maybe I would. I don't know. Life kind of blows, man, you know? Like, what's my incentive to stay out here? Would you? Would you go into a simulated world and abandon real life? Just like don't. You can think about like family and things like that. You can think like, oh, but I'd be leaving all my family members and leaving them behind. But you're not going to know that. When you're in the virtual world, you'll still have your family members. If you want, you'll still have your family members there. And you'll be able to love them and experience them the same way that you always did, because you're tricking your mind into thinking that it's a real thing. So don't think about that. Just think about it in the heat of the moment when someone asks you, like, do you want to go to a perfect world? Even if it means leaving this one behind? Would you do it? I mean, it doesn't sound that bad, you know? Anyway, that's been what's on my mind. I'll see you next week. Now, he wasn't wrong for telling people who he's voting for. He's also not wrong for voting Hillary Clinton. It's completely up to him if he wants to tell people who he's voting for.